camera. Hello everyone. Welcome to my live event tonight. Tonight, as I planned, we're going to make a journal using this book, Midnight Masquerade. This book has two copies. One is the journal, one is the ephemera. And tonight we're going to use only the journal, and the ephemera, we're going to use this, I'm going to use this later for journal decoration. And also very exciting news tonight. During this event, I'm going to give away a bunch of stuff. One is this sticker sheet and some cards I made recently for the journal called, for that, what's the title of the journal for that journal? Excuse me. And a bunch of die cut frame, excuse me, frames and tickets and all these cute little things. A gold butterfly I cut myself, and also there's some birds die cut, some nice vintage card and carriage card, and some vellum paper and a little cute bag, and some frames, a lot of little goodies. Birds, owls, and ladies in two different sizes. Large, sometimes you need a large image for your journal, sometimes you need smaller, so I made them two different sizes for your journaling projects. And some more die cut elements. I'm going to ship this worldwide, so if you're from outside the US, you have a chance to win as well. And 2 sheets of embossed paper, One is the pearl accent, beautiful embossed paper. One is white paper. These are all included in tonight's giveaway. To have a chance to win, all you need to do is two things. One is subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. And the other is answer my questions, be interactive. Questions are very easy, I hope. It's all about journaling, so everybody have a chance to win. So let's get started. I may not be able to answer your look at your answers right away because I'm going to be busy making the journal, because the purpose of this live is to show you how to use this book to create your journal, something like this journal. I just randomly grab one from my collection. I have a bunch of them. Front, back cover, spine, 1 inch thick spine, and some end paper on both front cover and the back cover, and 3 signatures. I hope it's not gonna take too long. I hope 2 hours will be enough. So I'm going to, if I don't see your answer right away, it's going to save in my live recording. I hope I will give you the get the winner right away. If not, I will definitely select the winner right after the live finish. Okay, let's get started. First of all, I want to show you what tools I'm going to use tonight. First is, of course, we need a knife to cut. Any kind of knife. This surgical knife is very, very sharp. That's why I like to use the surgical knife. You can use this Axon knife too, but this is easy to wear out. But this one is very good. And trimmers. We need a trimmer, either this simple a small trimmer. Sometimes it doesn't work very efficiently, so sometimes I use this large trimmer, heavy duty trimmer, especially when I trimmed blank pages like this. I already prepared them just to save time for tonight's live event. Trimmer, that's what we need. And the scoreboard. I bought this scoreboard from Amazon years ago. You can get this type of scoreboard from Amazon as well. And of course, glue. Oh, I forgot to close it since last project. So I always use this glue, Beacon Advanced Craft Glue 3-in-1. So this is what I like to use. And a piece of wood. And this is my binding material, binding toolbox. Wax, thread, a needle, and then these 3 things. So I'm gonna use dark color tonight for this project. I'm gonna use this one. You can get this as a kit from Amazon as well. I bought almost all my supplies from Amazon. And also, let me put this to the side for now. And also, some heavy duty clamps. I normally use 6 of them. So this is the materials, tools we need for tonight's project. Okay, so let's start our first step, cutting. Of course, we need something to protect our table. So I'm gonna use this smaller cutting mat. Let me show you the book real quick. Okay, let me ask you first question. I want to know who is joining me today. And if you like Masquerade, Midnight Masquerade theme, please drop a comment, like an emoji. Drop an emoji in the comment, so I know you're here. So this is my first question. Please drop a comment or emoji to show me that you're here tonight. So that's question one. Okay, let me see. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. You said very good evening. Good evening, Lori. Yeah, Peg. Thank you. Welcome. Who else isn't there? Okay, welcome everyone. Now I'm going to start the first step, cutting the pages out of the book. First of all, this book is, I'm going to introduce this book, tell you the story behind it a little bit. And this is based on the event that held on Venice every year. They have the tradition to have a masquerade, midnight masquerade in Venice every year. So this is based on that event. So every year and during the masquerade, midnight masquerade, everybody wear a mask, you know, design whatever you like to participate. So during the event, a lot of people, especially young men and women, they hide themselves behind the mask they're wearing, and they talk to each other and they dance with each other. It's a very fun event, even though I have not been there yet. I hope one day I would. But I heard the story. I think this is very, very interesting. So I created this journal based on that event. So what you see from this journal is basically a romantic story that happened during that masquerade night. So the cover is the beautiful woman wearing a beautiful mask. Features gold and black lace. Of course, this is a Victorian style, so you see the dress and people dressed up like it's not recent, it's Victorian style. So when I designed this is she's ready to go to, she received the letter first, the invitation letter, which is there's no name, no sender. It just invite her, and also give her a ticket, masquerade ticket, to go to the event, and tell her, you know, to surprise her. So when she received this letter, she was so surprised, and then she think maybe just go ahead, go there and see what happens. So she went in there. Now she's getting ready. She's looking at the mirror and see herself if she's ready to go. This is also an image that's showing her that trying to get ready. And this is showing her, this is a diary of her wrote down after the event. She's dancing with this young, handsome man, which is the secret letter sender. And they start a pretty romantic event since then. So this in this book, the interesting part is I included some diary written by the lady, our main character, in this journal. So make it more interesting. And also, and I think the total pages are like 40 pages designed. These are the large pockets, large envelope, and this is a very interesting pocket. This pocket has 3 slots. You can store 3 different size cards. I'm going to do this project later, but not tonight. Tonight we're going to focus on making the journal. So what we need is to cut the front, back covers, binding templates, and journal pages off. So that's what we're going to do now. Let's cut all the pages. This is how I cut my pages. I don't know how you cut yours, but just make sure don't cut this edge of the page because it's going to be part of the journal. All right, we cut all the pages off. And one more thing we need to cut off is the end paper. I include 2 sheets of end paper that matches the let me see where that is. Match very close to the interior spine. In a moment I'm going to show you what this interior. Oh, I think I need to move it to the center here. Okay, so this is going to be the interior spine template. This is the template. This is the interior spine that is going to be glued on the inside of the cover in the spine area. So we're going to cut off these 2 end paper. I just cut them as close as possible to the spine of this book, so I get the most of the images out. So we finished the cutting. Next, of course, you know, is trimming. Let's start trimming the covers. Let's organize all the pages. We put these 2 sheets to the side because we're going to use it later. We're gonna use this next. All the pages will be the last. So we're gonna put all the pages to the side. Now we're gonna work on the covers. Okay, so first I'm gonna trim all these 3 sheets. You can use ruler and knife to trim it, or scissors. But since this is not 100%, you know, it's not very demanding on the precision, so I can just simply use this large trimmer. I don't know why I love this large trimmer. It's very easy to use. Okay, so we just trim off this one, just very easily. For the back cover, we're gonna pay attention to this edge, so I'm gonna trim the other 3 sides first. Right, for this spine, I'm gonna use this to trim it as well. This you just need to pay attention, cut exactly on the edge. Don't be too deep, don't be too okay, so this one along this. Because it's all marked, so it's very easy to use. Just a couple of minutes, you're all done. All done for the cutting. And all these, except for the small ones, you can save them for later, because they're beautiful. They're all floral. Make perfect trim or a lot of other things. I use these scraps to make. So these two are ready. Back cover, front cover. So now this edge. This edge we need to cut very straight. So what to do? I can use a ruler to cut it, because I don't trust that big trimmer for this precision. So I'm gonna use a ruler to cut it. Save this piece. So after that, we need to do some more work, which is trim the 4 corners. You know, the 4 corners. Oh, it's here. I was like, why it's not there? So okay, right here, glue this together, and these 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 corners. We trim the corners. I already leave this about a 1/4 inch away from that corner. On all new designs, I did it this way. So you just cut it this way. Roughly 45 degrees angle. So this is gonna be glued on this front cover. You just leave it the way it is, don't cut it. So we cut this side as well. Okay, let me check the comment. So funny. Yeah, comment now as much as you can. So now we need to glue this together. But one more thing, before I glue it together, I always ink this edge, because you see there's a white part of the trimming showing up, so I don't want it to show up in the finished project. So I use some ink. This is ink, my favorite ink, to ink this edge, cover, to hide the white edge. Okay, so next thing is to glue these two sheets to front and back cover together. Let me see if I'm in the middle of the camera. Move this out of the way. Okay, so this is the middle. I really need to mark it. So this is the middle. Now I'm gonna use this glue these two sheets together. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna apply glue very carefully on this cover, front cover. Don't be too close to the design, the edge, because you don't want the glue go over the design, because this glue is not water-based, so you have the tendency to ruin the image if you touch the image. And now we carefully place this back cover next to the edge of the front cover. I will need to put my glasses on to make sure it's straight. It's very important. It needs to be straight. And you eyeball it. Make sure this part, this distance over here, and this distance, the upper side of the spine and the lower side of the spine, the distance are the same. Okay, now I think it looks pretty good. Now I can press it down using a bone folder. Someone was asking me what this thing is called. This is called bone folder. I purchased it from Amazon a while ago as well. Let me tell you, all my supplies, 99% I believe is from Amazon. Some might from Joann's, when Joann's still in business near my house, but that is closed right now. So most of them I purchased from Amazon. Amazon has almost everything we need for journaling, for everything. Okay, so this is the cover glued together. So tell me what we're going to do next. Please leave a comment. What are we going to do next? Okay. Next, we're going to score. So I'm going to use this scoreboard to score around the edges. First, I'm going to score this edge. You know, make sure it's along this designed line. this edge is our reference edge, so it's important. It has to be straight. Yeah, I want to make sure it is straight. All right. And then we score like this around all the edges. Make sure you score it along this design, the edge. You can always make slight adjustment if it's a bit off. Like this. Okay, we scored all edges. That's all we need to score. Now, next step is to fold the edges. Starting from the any side, front or back, it's okay. You see the scored edge right next to the designed edge, so it looks perfect. Slightly press down so we can make adjustment if there is a little bit off. Don't press it down really hard yet. Okay, I think it looks perfect. All around the covers have this same thickness of the edges. So now we can use the bone folder to press all the edges down. So all edges are pressed down. So next step is, so it's my question, what is our next step? Okay, tell me, Karen, what is our next step? All right, let's hurry up. Next step is to attach the cardboard to the front and the back cover and the spine. Oh, I forgot to introduce you this tool. This is book binding tool I purchased from Amazon. But in my project, our project only use this part, this section, to make sure the the distance between the cover and the spine are going to be the same from here, this one, the left one and right one, and also make sure this top are all lined up. So this is the purpose of this tool. I'm gonna use this very soon. So first, let me glue down the front cover first, okay? The cover size is, and the cardboard size is 8 inches by 5.5 inches. Strengthen cover. Okay, yeah, that's a very good answer. We use the cardboard to strengthen the cover. Exactly. Thank you, Karen. And the spine is 1 inch by 8 inches. The length, they are all 8 inches. Okay. So now let's start. I always start from the front cover. So to do that, I'm gonna add glue. This glue, you don't want to add too much, because like I said before, it's going to be ruin the images. It's going to ruin the image, but make sure all 4 edges are having plenty of glue, especially the corners. Okay, let's turn this around. This is the front cover. I'm gonna grab the space that there's no glue to line my cardboard to the edge of this front cover, this side. Line it up. Okay, the upper and lower. Yeah, it's pretty good. Then I'm going to use bone folder to press it down. Okay, next is to use this tool, bookbinding tool. I don't remember what exactly it's called, but it's for bookbinding. And glue this piece, spine piece down. Make sure it's attached to top and side, attached, so as this one attached to the right side of this tool. So you can see this placement is perfect. I find this tool very, very useful for our journal making. Make sure it's all lined up. Okay, now it's perfect. Earlier when I do this, press it down, it shifted a little bit. Okay, so this is done. Now next step is place the back cover, strengthen the back cover. Thank you so much, everyone. You're still here with me. It's kind of probably to you are very boring to watch, but to me it's very fun because you make something very beautiful. When you see the result, you feel like, wow, that's what I did. Great. I remember when Jennifer made her journal by watching my tutorial, she was so excited. She said, I can't believe I could make something like this. So pretty. Yeah, because you know, I already put my design, give you my beautiful design for you to use. All you need to do is take some time to put this design together. Of course, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. A lot of artists using my design create beautiful journals in their unique way, different way, and turn out so beautiful. Let's see what happened here. Okay, so I think this back cover we need to take it off. Maybe I didn't measure it right here. Looks like a little bit off here, so I'm going to take this off before it's 100% dry and replace it. For some reason, what's going on? I'm not sure about this. Okay, I'm going to place this a little bit toward the back cover side. This glue dries very fast, so I need to add more glue when I place it back. We still need to use this tool, make sure this top is all lined up. But I'm going to give it more distance away from this tool, let it get more closer to this side. So the gap is slightly bigger. It's not going to make a lot of difference though. Even though this is slightly wider than this, but when you fold it, you can always make adjustment, you know, like fold it closer to this side. All right, I think this is fine. You know what, I know what happened. This spine, when I designed it, I made it too narrow. So I think I'm going to replace this. So this is it. Okay, so our next step. What is our next step? This is my question. Okay, so our next step is important, which is strengthen spine reinforcement. To do this, because this part of the spine is pretty weak, especially this gap here. You got only one layer of paper, so I always add a piece of scrap paper to cover this area. At least it has 2 layers over to cover these gaps. So that's what we're gonna do. The spine is going to be, the length is a little bit shorter than 8 inches. So I say it's 7 3/4 inches. And most importantly, you need to put glue in these 2 gaps. Make sure they're strengthened. So you remember the steps? Strengthen, trimming after trimming, strengthen the spine, strengthen the covers, strengthen the spine. After we strengthen the spine, what are we gonna do next? It doesn't have to be right in the middle because it's just a piece of scrap paper to strengthen the spine. It's not gonna show in your final project, final product. So make sure press it down in the gaps. Okay, what's our next step, ladies? Our next step is, please give me your answer. You know, also this image has a shadow, a highlight side and a shadow side. So the shadow side automatically looks more gap than the highlight side. So this is vision, well, how do you say that? It's a vision, this something, if you know the word. You know, when you see something, for example, a circle, white circle looks always bigger than black circle, right? So this is the same way. Even though the 2 circles are same size, but the white one looks bigger than the black one. This is the effect. The white side looks bigger than the black side. So this is what it is, okay? Color optional illusion, that's correct. Thank you. Oh, okay, great. You guys are so awesome. Color optical illusion. Exactly. Thank you, Karen, again. Okay, our next step is to glue all these flaps to the inside of the cardboard. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to fold this part a little bit, make it easier to glue later on. You know, before I didn't do this project, so I pretty struggle when I glue them. So let me just slightly fold a little bit toward the corner, so that way it's easier after I put the glue on. Okay, now let's put the glue on. Make sure put glue on 4 corners. Make sure. And along all the edges. Plenty of glue on all the edges. That's the parts we need to make sure it's not going to tear off or break. All right, so let's do the corner. I think do the long side first is better. Do the long side first. See, it's so much easier. I press the corner down in advance. Okay, so the short side just come along easily. Perfect. Perfect. I love this idea. Okay, let me press this all of them down. Optical illusion. Interesting. What do you think, guys? Okay, so that's our cover. Let's do the next step. What is our next step? Wow, we already processed for 1 hour. Okay, let's hurry up. Okay, next we're gonna work on the spine, right? So the spine, first of all, we're going to score the center so it's easier to fold. Score along the center line. Press it down. Fold it. And we use this as a template to poke all these binding holes, threading holes. And also, before I put the signatures on, I need to strengthen or reinforce this piece because 1 layer of paper is too thin. So what I do is use a piece of scrap cardboard. Doesn't have to be exact the same size, but if you want the same size, it's fine as well. But the lengthwise is always a little shorter than this piece because you don't want the reinforcement piece to show. So I'm going to trim this off. This is a piece of scrap paper, is pretty thick. It's 32-pound premium copy paper. Pretty good quality. So I'm going to glue these two pieces together. I do this step right now because I want to give the glue some time to dry. Because later we're going to poke many holes on this piece. So it's just slightly shorter than the patterned piece. To avoid the glue come out, I'm going to put this paper on top of over this pieces so it won't damage leave any glue on my desk. So I'm gonna set this aside and let it dry. And so now we are going to do, what we're gonna do is to start working on our three signatures. And you don't have to be place these pages in certain order, but if you do, that will be fine. You know, remember this is the second section, so I'm gonna flip after the went to the masquerade ball. This part is I believe this is the letter she received, and then she's getting ready. So I believe these 3 sheets will be the first signature, and place this one. This will be the last one. Last one. When she comes back, she write a diary. This can be any. Yeah, this can be the second one as well, second signature. Yeah, this is perfect. This will be in the 3rd signature. She's writing after the masquerade ball. So I'll put the 4 sheets, 4 design pages in the 3rd signature. The first and second will be 3 design sheets on each. So now let's trim off all the pages. I'm going to try to use this smaller trimmer because it's more precise. Just along the black frame on each designed page. You know, when trimming this, it doesn't have to be 100% precise because this is a journal that you're making for fun, you know. But this, I think, looks pretty good. We just need to trim every page, one page at a time. You can't trim this in 3-4 pages together, sheets together, because it's not going to be precise along this black frame. Usually when you do this project, you probably need to make some arrangement, like complete this project. You're using 2 nights after work, 2 nights, 1 night working on the cover, the other night you can spend an hour or so working on the signatures. But tonight we're gonna do everything just 1 night, because I don't know, just don't have that much time to do live event for me, because it's really busy. I don't know if it's too loud because this trimmer is making a lot of noise. Okay, this is our 3rd signature. Let's put it aside and do the 2nd one. Actually, it doesn't really take very long. Like a fussy cutting, same thing. I thought it's gonna, when I saw all these images need to be fussy cutted, I was like, it might take me a long time, but actually it doesn't take very long. Especially after you've done it for a while, it's pretty quick. Like I cut a whole sheet of flowers. Took me only like half an hour. Sometimes you listen to some music, get relaxed. It's pretty fun to do that. Okay, let me see what. Okay, let me ask you another question I prepared for this event. If you're customizing your Midnight Masquerade journal and for yourself, what personal twist would you add? If you customize this journal for yourself, what elements you would add to this journal? Maybe some quotes, stickers, some flap pages, vellum pages, or cards, pockets. Yeah, if you customize this journal for yourself, what elements you think you should add to this journal? Which element is your favorite thing? Maybe vellum. Vellum is my favorite. Always give that vague feelings. Try to reveal something underneath, but there you can see something underneath, but can't see what it is until you flip it over. And another element, you know, if you watch my video for a while, you know, are frames. Because the frames give it very vintage look, and also I always make frames as a hidden pocket. I can tuck in some tag and a little notebook or secret letter if there is. Just having some fun, right? Yeah, this whole thing is for fun, for your eyes to enjoy watching this, looking at this. When you see something like this, so pretty, so colorful, and also bring you to the scene. When you see this old piano with some old music sheets and admit one tickets and all that, you can imagine if yourself are in that event, what would be like. Okay, so as we are talking, we already finished all the trimming. Now let me fold them in half. First signature, second signature. Yeah, this is beautiful. Second signature and the third one. Third one is after she come home from the Masquerade event. She start writing down how she felt. So these are 3 signatures with designs, and I also prepared some blank pages for each signature. I prepared 8 sheets of blank paper. I trimmed them the same size as this signature in advance, so save some time. So what I'm going to do now is to arrange these blank pages in mix match these blank paper, and I normally put 3 or 4 sheets together. I don't know why I'm always going out of the screen. So put all 4 sheets together between this. This will make our first signature. Oh, I trimmed this a little bit bigger than the page. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna trim it some more because this is a little bit bigger than this. It's just a 1/4 inch. A 1/4 inch need to be trimmed off. This heavy-duty trimmer is going to be very helpful. It can trim 8 sheets altogether. So I'm going to divide 8 sheets to 2 sheets together. So this is good. This part is okay because it's, but the top you don't want to be too tall. So let me trim these. Second signature. You just need to go slow. When you trim like 8 sheets together, you cannot just press it down really fast. You need to go slow. It's going to do the work for you. So let's do the second signature. Do the same way. Separate these 8 sheets into 4. Yeah, I can do it this way. So when you open to the center, you see this image. Second signature. The third one, let's trim it. A 1/4 inch right here. You can see from this. Remember, go slow when you press the blade down. Okay, so this is 4 sheets. I'm going to divide into 2 sheets, 3 sheets, 3 sheets, okay? So first one is this image with 2 sheets in between, and the second image with 3 sheets in between, and third image with 3 sheets in between, and the fourth image. This doesn't matter, either side is good. So this is our third signature. We're all done, 3 signature. Now what we're gonna do next? Macaroons. Yeah. Okay, let's do our next step. Our next step is poke holes, okay? So let's do the first one. Now use the template, place in the middle, and use heavy duty to clamp it in place so it won't shift around. And then use our board to poke the holes. Poke the 45 degrees, pierce in, and make the hole pretty big, easier to thread your thread later on. So this is our first signature. We poked the holes already. Make sure don't shift. Remove this and leave these clamps on the signature. Okay, our second signature. Place the template in here and then clamp it down. Repeat what we just did. Okay, take the template out, leave the clamps down in there. repeat and do the third signature. If you see this a little bit longer than the journal pages, make sure you line up in the bottom for all of them, so they're going to be, there's no problem later on when you thread the wax thread. Make sure you poke each hole big enough. Give yourself some space to thread the needle. Okay, we poke all the holes now. We're ready to sew the spine on this piece. So before we do that, we need to poke all the holes that's on the design. These holes don't have to be too big as long as they're visible. Okay, so they are visible from the back side of this piece. So now let's do the threading. Before we thread our wax thread, we need to measure how long, because I want to just use one piece of the thread. Some artists using not one piece, they use 3 pieces, but I think one piece is better. So we measure 6 of the lengths of this journal. This is 3, 4, 5, 6. Gonna thread this. Okay, now it's time. This is our first signature. No, this is the third one. Let's start from the first one. Okay, this flight is up. This flower, not flight, I'm sorry. All right, so let's line up the first 3 holes. Okay, perfect. Look at that. So what we're gonna do is to clamp it down. Clamp it down and then start sewing. I always hide the ends from the middle, so not from the signature. I want the ends of the thread going to the back side, hiding. So I'm going through the needle from the back of this. So the ends are going to be staying in the back of the signature of the spine, not the front. Don't put this thread all the way through, because you're gonna use it to tie a knot. Then we come back to where we start. Okay, so we want to tie the knot like this. Okay, I don't want to cut this off because I already measured plenty to sew all 3 signatures on. So the first signature is sewed on to the very to this side of this piece. So what we're going to do is to fold this first signature to the left side and clamp it down. It's right here. And now you can see the second signature is supposed to go. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to line up the second signature to the middle line. Do one side at a time. Okay, so line up all the holes. After first one line up, clamp it down together with your first signature. Do the same thing to this side. Clamp it down together with the first signature. And then we can start sewing. Again, we're going to poke the needle, thread the needle in starting from the center hole. Center, pull the thread through, and then come out from either one. Going all the way up to this, the third hole. Go back to the signatures. And then go back to where it came out. Make sure the needle come to this, the right side, so we can tie a knot easily. You know, I don't really need to cut the thread off, so that's the reason I use 6 of this length, so I don't have to cut my thread. Okay, now we're done with the second signature. We're going to fold this toward the first signature and clamp it, both of them down to the piece. And then we're going to start the third signature. Line up first, and then remove one clamp, and then clamp the third signature down together with the previous 2. All right, and do this end. Now we're going to start sewing the third signature to the spine, starting from the center. Come out from one end Go back in from the other end. That's what I'm saying. You need to poke the hole bigger. It's easy to thread. If you poke the hole too small, you make yourself working harder. Okay, go back, out. Okay, tie a knot, then we are done with the binding. The hardest part is this binding. To me is this, but I don't know what you think for you. What is the most difficult step for you guys? Leave a comment below. What's the most difficult step for you guys? Now we can remove all the clamps. Now all 3 signatures are in place. They're all pretty good. None of those are upside down. Have you experienced sewing the signature on the spine upside down? That happened to me many years ago when I first started doing this. But it's okay, you just cut the thread off and start over. It's not a big deal. We learn from mistakes, right? So this is our 3 signature. We're done. Now next, what are we going to do next, friends? Now we're going to glue the signature to the cover. So we're going to use the middle signature as a guide to place this in the middle of the spine. You can see from the middle of the spine, you can tell, eyeball it, and then make sure the middle signature is lined up with the middle of the spine. So this is how I do it. And because there's no way for me to mark anywhere in here, and it's not really necessary to mark. But if you have a way to mark it, leave a comment below. I would like to know. How do you precisely line up your 3 signatures to your cover? For me, I just eyeball it and using the center signature as a guide. So I usually put a lot of glue in the holes because I want the holes, make sure the holes is not going to have any issues later on, because we flip the page very often. In this step, you can put plenty of glue in this piece because you're not going to see them, especially on the top and the bottom. Okay, fold it. It will show the center of it, and then you do this. You see the center, and then I leave one side, clamp it down so it won't move around. then I clamp down the other side, very close to the spine. This is the top, and the bottom do the same way. You line up the center signature to the center of the spine, and then use a clamp to clamp it down. Wait for the glue to dry. Some people use hot glue gun. I think that's a very good idea because it takes no time to dry. So maybe in the future I'm gonna try to use hot glue gun to do the spine. So I can press the both sides of this piece down. It's gonna take, oh, excuse me, making loud noise. It's gonna take a little bit to dry. But well, when we are waiting for it to dry, I have other things to do at the same time, working on the end paper. How to trim the end paper? Leave your comment below. We want to make sure the end paper, the short side is going to be 8 inches. So that's how we're going to trim it. Eight inches. Shift it a little bit. All right. Slow. Because I think my trimmer is too old. It doesn't have that part to press the paper. So maybe I saw a lot of people using their trimmer has a piece to press the paper. But mine, I bought it very long time ago. It didn't have that part. Now everything is improved. This is a little bit white. I'm gonna trim it off. Okay, so this is our end paper. Let me check. You know, I can also press down the area between two signatures. Make sure the glue is attached. Make sure this piece is attached to the spine. This glue doesn't really take a long time to dry. Not like water-based glue, they take a long time to dry. Yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Now let's attach the end paper. Make sure you have the right side up. So it seems like this way. Okay, so what we do is put the glue on one side. Now what I do is put glue on the cover. So make sure and notice this part is a little bit sticking out. So I need to trim it off. Can't find my small scissors. Oh, right here. You know, sometimes this is not 100% precision, so we need to do some repair work. Okay, I apply glue to the cover instead of the end papers. Make sure you have plenty of glue on all edges. And close to the signature, you need to put glue as close as possible to the signature. That way you don't show much gap between the cover and the signature. Plenty of glue in this area. Clean the opening of this glue. This side up. I'm going to put this in between. Okay, look at that. Our journal is almost finished. How beautiful is this end paper? See, that's what I'm talking about. You need to be close to the journal signature because you don't want to show the gaps. But if you use a piece of this side, if for example, if you put this side to flip it, you can simply glue it together so it won't show the gap. But I think we just do it this way is perfectly fine. You don't have to glue these two pieces together. So this is our end paper on the front cover. Give a little fold. Press again. Okay, let's work on the back. cover. Put plenty glue close to the signature. All right, let's place this paper here. Make sure it's right side up. Okay, this side up. So that's it. And the paper is done. Our journal is finished. If you see this a little bit of coming up, just add carefully a little bit glue in here. Not too much. And then press it down. All right, should be good. I think it's perfect. So pretty. Look at that story here. And then the storytelling pages. Now she's already, looks like a piano music is there, calling them up there to participate. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. We barely take 2 hours to complete this journal. Isn't that very fast? I'm so surprised. I thought it's gonna take two hours, but it doesn't take long. So you guys have confidence now to make your own journal with a pre-designed book. Doesn't take very long to make, right? And by the way, I'm going to share a great news with you guys. You know, we have an artist whose name is Tina. She's on TikTok and YouTube. Yesterday I found out she sold one of her journals created with our book already. I checked, the price was $60. Isn't that great? So if you spend like $18 to $20 per book, and you can sell it for $60. It's a very good source of income, right? So you can make some money with this. I encourage you to sell your journal. If you did, send me a message or send me something. I'm going to share with my audience. So oh, let's talk about giveaway. This is our giveaway tonight. Obviously, who is going to be our winner? Karen. Thank you so much, Karen, for all these comments and stayed with me for the whole time. You're so great, and your design is absolutely gorgeous. I haven't seen anything recently. If you have new designs, make sure to share with us on Facebook. I know you're on Facebook, so share with us. But you're the winner tonight. Congratulations, Karen. Karen, how do you pronounce your last name? But you're the winner. Send me message on info@thegingerbreadprints.com. Send me your home address. I will mail it to you. Again, congratulations, Karen, and thank you so much for all these comments and the participation. And I don't know when I'm going to host the next live, but just follow me and maybe soon, because I want to finish our, where is the book? Right here. We have a second part of this journal book we need to complete. If I don't host an live event, I'm going to make a video to show you how I'm going to use those elements to decorate the journal we made today. Okay. Thank you again, everyone, and congratulations, Karen. And I will see you next time. Have a great night. Bye-bye.